Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Moin. Hello, cunts. There's a Jerry. Hello, Jerry.
Am I a moderator? When did that happen?
I don't know. Maybe potentially I could. I think I've added you at some point.
Wow.
Hello, Dutch, Stevens up, Jill,
I just noticed the sword now.
Zoipenhead, Radagast, and Orinoco.
Do you know what the collective noun for a group of otters is?
A school?
A romp.
A
A romp of otters.
Rumpa-pum-pump.
For a romping good time.
Hello, Zork. Today we're going to talk about
Collective nouns.
Battletech Gothic.
A flange of gorillas. Oh yeah, this is yeah, I've still not clicked on the link in case it takes me to GW.
It's
So here's what I imagine it is, right? From my point of view. After years of Battletech being a hard science fiction game, somebody has spotted GW and went, oh, we could make money by making Battletech grimdark and shit. Is that what they've done?
I have no clue. This literally came up like today and has been confirmed by now by officially Catalyst, and it's a parallel universe.
A parallel universe.
Yeah, it's somehow it's man and monsters and.
Oh, hold on. Oh, I've got no beer today. Today's beer is being played by a very fine Argentinian Malbec, by the way.
You're getting atlases with various helmets and backpacks.
Yeah, all of this.
I'm just waiting for if this is going to be a Kickstarter or a actual product that they just put out on shelves.
Oh, I imagine a Kickstarter. They'll want some of that Trench Crusade money.
What?
Ah, fucking hell, huh?
Just look at this amalgamation. We have the Battletech.
Yeah.
We have some monsters sitting here and some aliens in the sky and a Star Wars radar dish.
Yeah, I see the Star Wars radar dish. I'm not seeing an alien in the sky. What I'm seeing there is a parademon from DC. So,
wait, it looks like the Star Wars what they call
Geonosians.
Yes.
Well, I mean, parademons don't look dissimilar to that, I suppose. Even they are artifacts it in. Well, why pay for an actual artist? Oh my God, that's so good.
Interesting.
So very good. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to hear John's take on this.
Just by looking at how many YouTube channels have gone berserk after that video surfaced.
I still think it was a piss take because, you know, Battlefleet Gothic, a Battletech Gothic. It just sounded so fanboy made up.
Yeah, it did. And to be honest, if this had been an April Fool's joke, I'd give them every credit for it. It would have been enormous.
So, what are you holding in your hand then? Is it a primer? Is it quick start rules?
No, it's a primer. Battletech Gothic Universe primer.
So, because realistically, no rule would actually need to be changed. All they need to do is put in a reason for Chaos Warriors to exist.
If you look at the video, they
I'm
actually
still not clicking on the video because it brings me to GW.
Hex stuff and Alpha Strike-like cards.
Hal the artist. Yeah, leave my computer out of this, Sorg. The way you can set up a name for your computer for admin purposes and stuff like that.
I'm pretty sure we will know sooner or later.
Oh, it's amazing. Hazy, how are you? You're an absolute fucking legend. Yeah, I'm sure we will.
and yes, I'm pretty much interested on what John is going to say about it.
Look, John, You tried to get away from GW,
Has anybody
and it's
checked on
followed
John?
you.
Is he still alive?
Oh, he's seen it because I'm pretty certain somebody posted it in the content team.
Oh, I put it in the forums and tagged him, so...
Oh yeah, but he stays away from those in case he
Oh,
sees something he
Jill,
doesn't want
that's
to.
harsh of you to say. Catalysts don't deliver anything early except April's Fools. Good one.
Fucking master.
Hello, Greystoke. Welcome.
Oh, Christ on a bike. Holy shit. Hazy and Grey in the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
Is that allowed?
But are they?
Well, they're both there, so yeah.
Okay. But speaking of the battle attacks,
Oh my god.
actual
I could
battle
speak
attacks.
Battletech.
Look
Me
at
and Shay
them.
played a game of Battletech, but unfortunately the audio track fucked up, so you won't get to see it.
Oh. This is all primed now, and I get to paint them.
Sweet. That's from the Kickstarter that they haven't sent Dutch yet.
Yes.
One.
So, I'm just going to go. Catalyst Game Lab hasn't delivered Leviathan. There's
Nope.
still orders outstanding for mercenaries.
Sure.
I bet there's some RPGs they're still not fully delivered.
Oh, I wouldn't be at all surprised. I keep
How?
forgetting they do other things.
How does Kickstarter still keep them allowing to make new shit?
I don't know. Nobody knows exactly what Kickstarter's rules are regarding starting projects. Because
I'm
at one
pretty
point they
sure
said
that-
you had to have completed a project before you could start a new one. I've not seen that enforced anywhere.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at some point some creator said, "Yeah, we can't start another project because Kickstarter told us we need to finish at least 2 or something."
Oh, might be that you might be throttled on the number outstanding. Yeah, so that could be why Free League is going to do a new version of Alien. While they still have, to be fair, they only have Mythic Carpathia outstanding, and the PDFs and stuff for that are already being worked on because we've seen the art. I put the art in Disco the other day for the maps.
And I'm pretty sure if this isn't really a elaborate April's Fool thing, this will be a Kickstarter.
Kickstarter have to let them continue because they still let Cool Mini or not the website for rating people's paid jobs start new ones. They're 10 Kickstarters deep and just announced debts of 2 million. Is that why I seen there was a video on YouTube saying, is Cool Mini or not the website for rating people's paid jobs the new Mythic Games? I didn't click on it because it's clickbaity and it might take me to something GW based. But I'm assuming that's what that was off the back of.
Potentially.
That's fascinating.
Corporates. Grand.
Oh, it was a Gorilla. No, it wasn't. It wasn't GMG. Somebody else had done a video about it. So we should know more about Gothic later this week, as they were not going to announce it until Adepticon, but some scamp revealed it despite everyone being asked not to. KerenskyCon. Oh, okay. I'm going, why do I know that name? And then realised Battletech. That's why I know that name. Fucking clan.
Oh, also a word of warning for tonight. I might be lightheaded. I've got blood donated today again.
Oh, okay. Thank Christ. I thought you were going to say you're on the brown lemonade.
Well...
No, don't do it, man. No good will come from it.
It's lemonade, but it's the black one.
Yeah, that's all right then. That's at least bad.
But only because the shop ran out of brown lemonade.
Like blackmail Dutch. Send me my stuff, or for fuck's sake, I'll start dumping more shit about AI.com online, or whatever your fucking retarded 40k universe thing is. Oh, it's good times.
It'll be fun.
Oh yeah, sure, 100%, yeah.
And other things that came out today, or I got to notice today, was the Empire finally coming to Armored Clash.
Yeah.
Looking quite neat.
I mean, I don't think there was anything that was particularly unexpected there. I've not really looked
not
because
really.
I'm still building Enlightened for an Enlightened video,
I
so
have to,
I'm not paying any attention to the Germans yet.
I have to be fair. When I saw the little artillery guns, my first train of thought was those look like second edition orc guns from 40k,
I
like
mean,
tractor gun and zap gun.
why would they not? Let me just invigilate the machine. Invigilate. Go gadget, make it bigger. Is that as big as it gets? That's disappointing. Yeah. I mean, they're not massively different from some of the French World War One artillery pieces who had those ridiculous segmented fucking metal tires.
Well,
Or wheels,
I'm
I suppose it was
guessing
wheels.
even the orc guns had some inspiration out of real world. So
I'm trying to work out where are the Teutonic Knights in their stumpy armor? Is that a unit of them between the walkers, fucking Ed 209 walkers, and the
hello, Crispin.
A7Vs?
I think there was some more pictures in the Facebook group than on the
They
Beast of
could
War
be.
article.
Don't go to Base of War in case it's GW. Stay away from that.
David says you should be looking at me. I'm wearing an invention called spectacles. They help see things.
Nah, my glasses are downstairs beside. There's a seat where I take my shoes off, and I take glasses off and set them there.
And as long as you don't try to put on your glasses on your feet.
Oh, yeah, pretty sober most of the time. Haven't tried that yet.
Once you do, we might have
I do
to
have
have an intervention.
4 spare sets of glasses. Fucking literally there. That's the sound of me hitting glass cases. But it would mean lifting them out and taking them over. What's in there? Oh, sunglasses. Can't wear those ones. They were the top one as well. I can't go any deeper.
Sunglasses at midnight.
Yeah, but they are prescription. Just a good thing.
Fancy.
Let me see. Is that any better? Yeah, that's no better, mate. To be brutally honest. And I'm hitting dangerous levels of Bono wearing sunglasses indoors like a dickhead.
You need those next week for the hot tub. When we have our 250th episode.
50th hot tub episode.
Also, April Fool's Day.
That's really? Is it April 1st? I thought that was
It is.
Wednesday.
Nah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's still Tuesday.
I don't have a hot tub, but I've got a small paddling pool and I could throw a toaster in it. That count? Good time.
Shall we go on with other people's project?
Sure.
I'm feeling peckish. I'd like some turnips, please.
Neeps, or Swedes, as they're called.
Look, Denzian. Carrot.
Conscript force. Nothing to do with captain. Everything to do with the root vegetable.
A root vegetable.
Without a candle in it. That is a joke that nobody in the audience is going to get, and if you do, there could be a cookie for you. Yes, so I don't think we've ever actually visited this.
No, I don't think so.
However, I do know I've looked at it with Ben, because we do sometimes look at random stuff, which confuses me. Anyway, Turnip 28. The game of Napoleonic medieval turnip root vegetables slogging out in the trenches. It makes more sense than BattleTech Gothic. Let's put it like that. So this is his conscript force that he's been working on for a while now. So it's a mix of kit bashing and some 3D printed turnipy bits. So you can see there the specifically turnip based helms with the big long beaks on them. but then still got a tricorn on top, or bicorn, depending. I mean, if I had the urge to do sludge or turnip, it is a remarkably fun-looking game. I just don't feel the urge myself, thankfully.
Plus, who plays games for fun?
Which means I can actually get round it for once in my life. I mean, I could just eat beans beforehand. That would do something similar. But
as we have all got to know with the frequently asked question, ask me anything session.
I'll strip the enamel off the bowl, don't you worry. But these from the very get-go, from the first 3D printed things all the way through to his subsequently finished force, they have a really good look to them, because they have that kind of Blanche-esque sepia tone and red inky look, which I know Blanche isn't responsible for anything turnip, but I get the feeling that they were kind of semi-inspired by his scratchings, especially the weird shit he used to draw.
It matches the weirdness of this setting.
Yeah. And I mean, the combined force, as you can see, looks the absolute dog doodah. Yeah, Zoid, I mean, this and Sludge is less whimsical, shall we say. Sludge is weird shit going on, but they're mostly humans in there. Turnip is weird shit's going on, but they are literally sentient root vegetables who have just reached a level of technological aptitude similar to that sort of period of black powder. And so I think this one probably is more interesting for me from an aesthetic point of view and from a fun, weird point of view, rather than just mixing Napoleonics and medieval miniatures for Sludge.
He must have now a whole host of human heads lying around.
Yeah, but I mean, you can stack those up like cannonballs if you need to. Yeah, I think you probably do, Demon. I'm pretty sure Sludge kicked. The thing is, with these, I'm not sure which inspired the other, because I think they were both running parallel very quickly. So I don't know whether Turnip is an offshoot of Sludge, or Sludge was inspired by Turnip. Because if you take away the root vegetable, they're very similar game-wise. But yeah, just the whole look of it, and the fact that he's hammered this together in a relatively short amount of time. When did he put his first post up? March, start of. Yes, this is only a few weeks worth of work. Obviously, had to do the 3D printy thingy stuff first, because he was looking to upset everybody. But after that, he started doing, the Lord's own work by removing the head of metal miniatures and getting in there. This is the other thing, because obviously you don't need to buy any of this shit. You could just sit down with plastic kits and metal models and green stuff and millipus.
Just don't use real turnips. They don't work well.
No, they work well very temporarily. Then slowly compost. But by getting that set of 3D printed parts, it's a really good way to extend plastic sets, because you can put the official turnip head on a plastic body and then put a regular helmeted head on one of the resin bodies, mix and match, that sort of thing, to expand them somewhat.
Yeah, and he even gone so far as to decapitate metal miniatures.
Ewok. Yes, I mean, it's all good and good. The only thing I would suggest, because there's not, he's gone in with the Tufts. There's the Tufty Club group of Zouaves kicking around. But there's not a huge amount of rootery on them. And whenever you look at any root vegetable worth its salt, there's generally some rootery going on, creeping out of somewhere. And I would suggest getting a bit of sea foam spray, Foam Sea Spray, Sea DOS Run, Run DOS Run. I'm looking behind me, but the box is buried, so there's no way I can see it because I don't have fucking X-ray vision. But sea foam, the stuff that you can use to make tree limbs and things, and just have little bits of that, make fantastic roots. You don't even have to paint them. You just go in afterwards and just start sticking it in. It can be expensive if you didn't buy it umpteen odd years ago and then just never do anything with it. But what I will say is, if you're subscribed to the delightful channel Paper Cats, which has nothing to do with Jamiscat, but that particularly nice Lowlander had a whole video about growing your own sea spray, foam spray, sea spray.
Sponge.
Yeah, no, not that, not doing that. But anyway, yeah, just it's nice little atypical, especially at the moment when everybody's really keen on Gundam or Trench Crusade's the big one in, let's face it, in the
miniatures hobby.
Yeah, as far as a independent game goes. Speaking of, did anybody see the news last Friday / Saturday / I drank a lot, I can't be sure which? Jarvis Johnson has joined the Trench Crusade group.
Yes, I've seen that.
So that'll be interesting. You're panel lining a Gundam on the sprue.
Good on you.
My reputation. Oh, God. Anyway, so yes. Well done, Denzi, and I look forward to seeing what comes up next. Presumably, because he is that way inclined, we will see some sort of other root vegetable army to go up against these guys. Because there's no point in just having one side of a conflict.
Yeah, let's see what takes root here.
Ah!
Sorry.
See what you did there. It was good times.
If someone you know is waving around millions of Kickstarter pennies, it would be rude not to join the crusade.
Yes. Yes.
Hard to argue with that. Collins, mister, does 2025 consent to this? We don't know.
Hashtag Millennium 2. Yes. The delightful Collins doing his stuffs. Obviously, not going to see Starship Troopers yet because he's only just showing off the box. Although that's going to be worth the price of admission, hasn't it? That's a box that hasn't seen the light of day since fuck knows when. Do you remember those? Remember when people used to talk about that being a thing? Anyway.
Oh, and
The reason we're here, though,
his weird taxations
is Tyranids or Tyranids.
Tyranids?
Depending on what you want to call them. There is
Comic
some
value for butt winding.
Yeah, there's some Star Wars Legion in the middle. I imagine at some point we'll see that, possibly when the fire sale trucks along. I don't know. But the combat patrol of NIDS is particularly nice. What's that say there? Does that say Legion fire sale rules? Is that just a catalogue of all the things that are being discontinued?
No, that's actually Asmodee Germany finally getting their shit together and translating the current rule set. So
well,
I'm
I was
guessing
going to say, haven't they said that they're about to do a new version?
that is the new version, sort of, kind of. So this is the 2.6 version, hence the different logo. But I'm pretty sure when Adepticon drops, there will be another new one.
I thought AMG had said that there was a new edition of Legion coming and it was changing, or has that already come out? I've just stopped paying attention.
That's hence why this logo is different. So this is the 2.6,
right,
which is
so
quote unquote the third
one.
edition.
Okay.
And coming this summer, they will be dropping the base boxes as we know them, and you'll get starter armies.
trying to remember what they ran at the club Wednesday week. It was Star Wars, but it was using Grimdark Future, the one-page rules, Grimdark Future. They had a lot of fun. Stuff, big rebels against lots of stormtroopers. Play like a real game. You didn't have to have a small forest's worth of tree tokens following you around.
Yeah, and I've seen a preview of the Imperial sprue that was given to Sorastro for painting,
Yes.
and I've got to say the miniatures do look way better than the original stormtroopers.
You tell me not to bother assembling my stormtroopers because I've only had them since whatever the fuck it came out.
You can do those, or you can buy a new box and have less worry with cleanup.
I mean, what if I just don't do either? That's probably the easiest thing. When you get right down to it. Just imagine how easy it would be just not to take them out of that box.
Yeah, especially since the box won't be reprinted, so that will become a collector's item automatically.
Oh, that's good. Same when you want to buy a limited collector's item, brand new in box, Star Wars Legion.
Those nuts!
Yes. It's a nice little collection of alien things. And I do like the colour scheme. It's almost traditional. It's not a million miles away from the old blue and purple that Steelers used to be.
Yeah, it looks very, very similar.
It probably has some sort of clever name like High Fleet Meow Meow Meow.
Meow meow.
Meow Meow. Not to be confused with Meow Meow, which is Thor's hammer. But I do like the collective little work he's done, and this is because this is a combat patrol. It's a small, self-contained thing, and it's similar to what Pete's been doing in the hashtag Best House with all of his Age of Sigmar.
Pete has been on a painting spree.
I'm going to say
recently.
combat patrols because I don't know what they call them for Age of Sigmar, but because you're not building a full proper army, you can get away with picking up a box, painting 20 odd models, whatever it is, and that it's done this little self-contained thing. Spearheads, thank you, Jim. So yes, and this is something similar. The option to do it, and I quite like this basing as well, which is minimalist.
Simple. Yeah.
But the addition of the crystals, it could be chunks of ice. It could be some sort of black ash volcanic, we're on Iceland sort of place, or they could be crystals. It could be kyber crystals, forged in the heart of a star. Kyber is the heart of the star. The crystal is the heart of the lightsaber. The lightsaber is the heart of the Jedi.
And then he gets stabbed in said heart and dies.
So why would he do that? Don't stab a Jedi.
Stabby, stabby, stab, stab.
Absolute gypsy bastard. I can't believe that. Yeah, he's done apart from doing quite a lot of buying, he's done quite a lot of painting as well, which is, disappointing. But then we've not been here in a while, so some of that stuff he's probably painted, we just had skipped by it, so you can kind of ignore it. Some of the Steelers/Nids were done back in January, so it's it's been a couple of months, we just haven't been here. But I mean,
Shoot them in the back? What? That's a
makes more sense.
coward's move. Hazy
or
boy.
as we learned from, what was that prick's name? Atten Rand. The best way to deal with the Jedi is IEDs on remotes. Because you can't fucking deflect an explosion.
Yep.
No,
That's true.
that goes. Annoyingly jailed Traitor's Toll arrived today, but it arrived at the studio rather than being sent directly to me, like the other stuff. Which means I won't get until next week. So I had to get Shay to take pictures of how to build guards and stuff, so I can actually build and paint things over the weekend. So yeah, they did Ewok. That's how they got them.
Makes things easier.
Very much so.
So after Collins and after Collins and his lovely nids, who's next?
It is the answer to the problem with America's political system.
Madame Guillotine.
That's the bunny. We've been here recently. There's only really a couple of posts since then. These Choss Warriors of Choss have been painted using the John Blanche paint sets from
The Army Painter.
Army Painter. So if people haven't seen them, here's somebody you can pester to find out if they're worth their time. Because I think there's only one new thing in each box, and the rest of it is stuff that you could buy from other Army Painter paint sets, so you may already have them. So, is it worth for that one thing, or they'll be released separately, and if you don't have them, then blah. The other is using these limited zone-like palettes. He's done these test schemes, and what you need to do, because I'm assuming you're all clicking on these and going in and smashing buttons and giving people support and chatting to them and stuff in the comments, fucks, which is why we're here. Jesus Christ, every week. So every week I'm going to be arsed. But he was asking which color scheme people prefer. So you'll find a keypad under your chairs, and if you vote now by pressing the relevant number on your keypad.
I think, judging by the names of the colors, the only new color is Blanched Berry.
Where are we? I think it's different in both boxes, though.
Oh, so you mean there's a new color in each box?
Yes. So I'm not sure what one they are. Well, I mean, I could probably find out. I just can't be arsed looking up. I'm just not that interested. So, it's all new paints, says Ewok. Really? They didn't do a flat red before.
I'd be very cautious with that assumption, because they did rename colors from their range when doing stuff
Star
like
Wars.
the Fantasy Flight game, Star Wars Legion
D&D.
The D&D sets also. They called them differently, but they had the same code. So they were paints from the range.
I think they've done two. I say think. I know because they fucking arrived, and I looked at them and went, I'm not touching those. Because I have other things to do. But there's two paint sets for Infinity with some Infinity models in them. I think they've renamed the stuff in there as well.
Yeah, and I don't think for the Blanche sets it's the case, but every other paint set is just a 12 ml bottle instead of an 18 ml bottle. Which is weird, but okay.
That's licensing for you.
Yep.
Because I know their own paint sets. They're standard bottles.
Yeah, that's
and those are standard bottles as well, as far as I remember. But anyway, I digress. Regardless,
tell the poor bastard which color he should choose.
I'd say I quite like the. Do I? Yeah, I think I do. I quite like the. What number is it? 2. Or I suppose 3, depending whether you're counting from top up or bottom down.
He named them Test Scheme 1 to 4.
Oh, in that case, reading it.
The first
one. 3.
Yeah.
I quite like 3.
So with a bit of a violet shade on top,
yeah.
Going green down.
Yes. And it might just be because he's also repeated that across the highlights of the armor as well. Quite like that. It's got a nice look to it.
I actually can't decide. I like them all. They're all very nice looking.
Fucking pick a side. Get off that fence.
It's a D4. I can't pick a side. I'll step on the pointy bit.
Oh, that's fine. That works too. I'm easy.
Plus, I already made the comment that I like them all, so I'm not going to redact my comment.
Christ. I'll tell him. I'll show you. I'll show all of you.
Well, actually, I think test scheme number 2 is the one I'd go for because it's
Clearly you're
simplicity.
just wrong. No, it's too late. You've already said you couldn't really distinguish between them. You can't backtrack now and pick one.
I didn't say I can't distinguish. I can't decide. That's a different thing. Anywho.
Ennio Morricone.
Yes.
What? Shocking.
Yes. Chat, what's your take on this? You're all way too quiet.
They're always quiet.
Lazy
Most of
god.
them are sitting there. I imagine they use this chat to get asleep. I know you did, Jill. You're one of the few people I can rely upon to actually do the mission. By the way, if you like Argentinian Malbecs, this one's quite nice.
Oh, option 1. 1, 2, 4, 4, 3.
Oh my Christ. Can't even get a consensus. It's outrageous.
Well, that's democracy for you.
Democracy sucks my plums.
As long as they take out their teeth beforehand, that's great.
Bam! What? I'm saying hello.
Hello, Bellin.
Also, how come you didn't say bam? You say bam now, but normally you enter a chat with bam. Did you bam earlier on? Did I miss it? This is a delayed bam. Delayed bamation.
Let's bam on. There's more stuff to look at.
There is. I'm trying to, but whatever this is called, one bam per day.
One bam per day.
Get a little blue pill that'll fix that.
Civic Courage doing a very interesting project. I've been following this very closely.
Yeah, well, we've been here before. And we're not here to look at a really useful box, because I think everybody knows how good really useful boxes are.
Yes.
But he may even have got that ding from Ben. I seem to remember talking about this in the XLBS. We came here when he just started. He was just going, I've always wanted this Ultramarine army, and now I'm going back and I'm making this Ultramarine army.
And he did.
And there's nothing you can do to stop me. And I think at the time we asked the question when we first looked at it, is he going to do the Firebase and the hills? And lo and behold,
he does.
Yes, he is. Now, he does caveat that beforehand by going, no, and then discovered a photocopied Firebase and then went nosing around on the internet and found the website, which is linked in there, where somebody has actually put the Bastion and the Firebase cardboard sections up online that you can download, print out, and stick onto cardstock. And the second link is for 3D print versions of bulkheads, so you can put the bulkheads together. Now, obviously, I'd just go into my loft because I've got a box of 100 of them from a project I was going to do years ago. But not everybody apparently has that box. So if you don't and you have a 3D printer and you're after bulkheads, then, that's something you can do if you want that.
Or if you just happen to have the bulkheads laying around, not the cardboard, you can substitute.
Yes.
And it just looks so nice and relaxed.
It was a happier time. I mean,
it was a wackier time. We had more fun playing those games because we didn't be so anal about stuff.
I mean, people were still anal about them then, but, there's a bit more humour and fun about them. I'm trying to think who was responsible for third. Gav. Yeah, Gav was... Well, obviously, he didn't decide to do it off his own bat. He had a brief, and the brief was to make it more bigger, less fun, more war gamey.
Well, Joe,
that it?
you've got a point there. People could only moan in small circles, and if they moaned too much,
Yeah.
people would stop playing with them. So they
Well,
were
it depends.
somehow inclined to not moan as much.
Depends the area you were in. I remember we had some really bad ones, and you just couldn't get rid of them because the amount of people playing in the town were so fucking small. But it is really nice, and someday I will get my Ultramarine Codex out and find out what company that is. But I just really can't be arsed. It's so far away.
Is that even a company?
Yeah, oh yeah. White is Veterans' first company. And then red, yellow, blue, and green all come next, but I can't remember if it's what order they come in. I do remember the last company is like pink trim, and it's like the Scout company, something like that. So, but yeah, all 10 companies have a color, and depending on what one it is, it might be a battle company, which has a certain amount, or it might be a support company. So you'll have nothing but 10 squad or 10 man squads of Devastators, and then if they needed to draw from the support company for additional heavy weapons, or the assault company for additional assault troops for specific missions, they're all in there.
Why
I think we know the answer to that,
pink?
Greystoke. Can I say it? Can I? We'll get you demonetized. I don't care.
I'm not
You're
demonetized.
faggots, that's why. Yellow is second. Here's a fun fact.
Yeah,
Years ago, when
I'm
GW
looking
was
at
still fun.
the Warhammer Wiki right now, and Ultramarine second company is golden/yellow.
Oh, there you go, yellow. So second company. The GW still had a sense of fun in the late 90s, mid to late 90s. They came up with a dress uniform. So anybody who's old enough to remember Games Workshop staff, red shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Managers were black shirts. But at things like Games Day, Golden Demon, Grand Tournaments, where there was a staff presence, we had blue dress shirts. And the blue shirts were noticeable for several things. First of all, they had your rank on the back. Yep, so blues. So if you were a part-timer, which they used to call key time, because you were a key time member staff, you weren't part-time, you just didn't have full-time hours. If you're a key timer, you were a scout. If you were a full-time member staff, you were a Marine. If you were a store manager, you were a sergeant. And then it worked its way up to captain and chapter master and tech Marine and apothecary, depending if you were like head of retail or whatever. The other thing they did was they divided the 4 regions of the company. So Ireland was part of the North and Scotland at that stage. So we had red trim collar and cuffs on the polo shirts. The South were second. They had yellow. I have no idea what company it is. Somebody had whatever the other one was, blue, and the trade sales and head office staff had white because they were the veteran company.
Red
first.
is third company.
Oh, well, there you go. So yeah, so they did that. So you could literally walk around Games Day in like 98, 97 and see somebody with a blue shirt on with trim and a rank on their back and go, he is a store manager from somewhere in the south of England, or he is a regional manager from head office, or he is something like that. Oh, I did, Greystoke, which is why I said it. Joe Cabot to Mr. Pink, because you're a faggot, that's why. But yeah, so yeah, the blue shirts were very, very, they only had them for a few years.
Because they're too expensive.
It was good. It was a bit of fun and something interesting, and that's why they got rid of it. You can't do that. But I remember one Games Day, sitting with some friends upstairs on the seating in the NEC. Can't remember which one it was actually. Whatever one it was, trying to spot. It was like who can find the highest rank. and we've seen a chapter master wandering past, and I have no idea to this day who the fuck that was.
Imposter! There's an imposter among us!
Oh, well.
Yeah, should I ever feel the urge to play 40k again, I think I might go this route and...
Smurfs? Don't do Smurfs.
No,
Do
third edition, second edition. And build
Oh,
me
yeah.
some cardboard terrain.
Go full old hammer. Second edition is good for two reasons. One, I still know the rules. And two, it had a very small amount of miniatures required. The problem is people tried to play ridiculous sized games with rules that were designed for 25 men in a vehicle and then would go, it takes too long, which is specifically why third edition was made the way it was. It was to trim the rules back to make it easier to collect big armies. So, yes. You two can do your Codex Norks. You can have Gazgul.
Still with the cards in it, never cut.
Oh, why would you cut the cards out?
Some
Sort of
people
a-
do.
Oh my god, why would they do that? Photocopiers exist for a reason, people. Or buy 2 copies of the book at least. Can't abide that. I found an old white dwarf where there was a template for something in it that looks like my brother fucking trimmed out. I was like, you absolute bastard. To be fair, it was probably his, because we got the month about between us. But still,
Banners
no reason
for
for it.
snake bites.
Snake bites. All
And the
good.
Gazgul Thraka banner. And for Makadi, his little standard.
Yeah. Second edition played perfectly, but what it didn't do was sell enough models. So you got people at home wanting to either put all their models on the table and the game played very slowly, or you got people going at head office. I think Rick Priestley once described them. Was it Rick or Jervis? He's going, these people arrived from places like Boots, and they didn't know what we sold or why we sold it. They just looked at numbers and sales numbers. And I was like, you need to start selling more of these and less of those. And that doesn't sell very well at all, so we should get rid of those. You go and put your...
Yeah, but people only need one of those.
Exactly. It was things like if you take the, I think it was, well, it must have been Rick Priestley because he was talking about War Master. If you take the generals off sale, then you can't play the game. It's going, we don't understand what you're talking about. So, yeah. Anyway. I particularly like the second edition thing where you had the little perspex sheet for doing your targeting on vehicles. That was fucking great. Then break out the D10. Bam! Shot him with the las cannon.
Yeah, Civil Courage, nice project. I'm hoping he'll do some more in that direction generally.
I mean, he's got to do all of that, and at some point he's obviously got to rebase his bikes onto proper square bases.
Bikes don't go on bases.
Of course they do.
No.
Attack bikes don't, because attack bikes will stand up by themselves.
Look at the picture. They don't have bases.
No, because they didn't come with bases. And you see the one you're hovering over, metal body with a metal arm, and the two behind them, metal bodies with one metal arm, and they all tip. So
Yeah,
they were propped up in that position for the photograph.
He mentioned that for
Bikes go on bases.
He mentioned that in the project when I was complaining about basing, and he said, yeah, those have metal upper bodies, they tip.
Yep.
To which I replied, no, they don't tip, they do just a very sharp turn.
The only problem is he's not used 25 by 50 mil squares, well, rectangles. He's used some sort of terrible round things.
And not even goblin green ones.
Oh, it's just the worst. Just the worst. Anyway.
So, Paganeth.
It's like the third edition heavy weapons, the Devastators. They all have massive metal backpacks to counteract the guns on the front.
It's the gravity of that alien world.
Well, yeah. It does suck you down, deeper and down. Pagan 8th is playing some solo Silver Bayonet. However, he's playing it with pirates, so it's essentially a reskin using the Black Scorpion miniatures. And this is just the beginning. Hopefully there will be more. So we've got like a group shot of, as he puts it himself, his substandard painting. But since he's playing solo, it's good enough for him. However,
Also, done is the preferable state to
Yes.
not start it.
but yeah, so the breakdown for what's actually in the collection there is quite nice. From the first game, they got a bit of a kicking. As it says, where are we? Pirate Burntbeard had buried his treasure, and when he was returned to the ship, he ran afoul of a wolf pack, or one led by a werewolf, so the story goes. So this is the setup for his pirates on an island inhabited by terrible beasts looking for this treasure. And it's, yes, it's been interesting so far. A terrible battle. The werewolf felled many of the crew. Only 2 of them managed to reach safety with a treasure map, but they were loyal crew and went back for their comrades at the end. The first mate suffered a terrible injury. The doc perished, eaten by the pack. But it's a victory of sorts because they got the map. The hunt for the treasure continues, and in his second game, I think I'm doing it right, but I'm having a rough time in Silver Bayonet. Officer went permanently insane in the second mission, and another died, so I'm rebuilding my squad from the ground up. Zombies are hard to kill, and vampires, brackets any creature with terror, are a nightmare. They hit hard and drive you insane. Yes, they do.
I think that's the whole point of them.
Yeah, I mean, until such points that the officer is a liability, I'd make that bastard get out there and do the do. You know, just because he's got a bit insane, a bit wibble. But I remember the co-op game me and Shay played, where the first mission against the witch in the woods, and we had such a fucking difficult time with the shitty scarecrows because we kept fluffing rolls. Pardon me. And that was a game that used 2d10 rather than the horrible swinginess of a d20. So it's somewhat mitigated. Actually, it uses 3d10, I think. So yeah, I'd be interested to see more of it. I'd particularly like to see some pictures of the monsters they're up against.
Yeah.
Maybe in some form of battle report.
Battle report for the solo game. That should be easy enough, shouldn't it?
I mean, you'd like to think so.
Yeah. And
Everybody
then
has
I
things.
try to set up any game and I feel, yep, my desk is too small.
Hovercraft is full of eels.
Also that.
Help, my desk is too small. It's not Jaws, you don't need a bigger desk. How is the Conquest armies coming along, Greystokes? Easy boy.
That's
I feel like it's been a while. Since I've seen an update.
Mr. Kebab, his Ewoks. I feel like we've been here. Has he finished?
Because no, it's still active. I didn't have those ones ticked. That's weird. Huh. Maybe it just didn't save them on me. That's strange. Anyway. Yeah.
Well, Bear's repeating that he is a talented bastard with very brightful flocking on his grubby little set of trenches.
Well, you know. Oh, you're going to be at the UKGE tournament. Good. Well, I will say, I quite like the Germans. But what I was looking at earlier when I was browsing through here was a remarkable lack of tortoiseshell camouflage on their helmets. Now, one fella does have a very dashing Rotbrun style helmet, but I can't help but feel like you should just get in there. Just do a bit of tortoiseshell on them. Just on, just do it on your elites.
Just to the offices so people know what to shoot.
Well, they won't be able to see them though because they'll be camouflaged. See?
Tricky.
They'll want to
Sneaky
shoot their heads
puns.
off, but their heads will be invisible. And that's the main thing.
Puns and terrain.
Oh, look, he's got the John Blanchy things as well. Is that why he didn't do tortoise shell? Oh, these ones are ticked off for me. Yeah, that's weird. Just the most recent trench. Pictures of all the finished stuff haven't registered for me. Well, hey ho. In my defense, that was a week when I was off drinking. So, there you go. Lesson?
Didn't look at the train pieces. What?
He never looks at.
Keith Richards?
He's forever jumping past things. That would explain an awful lot. I mean, if that came up from a submerged land that had been buried beneath the sea 10,000 years previous.
When God said, I don't know who that is, he was here before me. Pope Jean-Paul II.
JP2. Carol.
You too
Choose
can be Pope.
friends. There's a very nice statue of John Paul in Krakow. Is that right?
Jean-Paul Belmondo?
Anyway.
Wrong button.
What are you doing? Oh my God. Oh Jesus, you've got everywhere. Oh
Yes,
Christ.
yes, I'm going to make you sick.
Oh my Lord. I'll remember you. Remember all you.
Wrong man Pudzianowski.
Could be. Not to be confused with his successor. Oberstführer Ratzenberger. Sorry, I mean Pope Benedict XVI. I remember when they were installing him as Pope, and they very kindly put on the TV in the break room if any Catholics wanted to watch it. And the fella I worked with was going, "Oh, we're watching it." We're going, "I wonder what sort of a pope he will be. Will he be a progressive pope like John Paul? Will he be, a bit more reactionary or conservative?" And then they came out and announced to the world Pope Benedict XVI had been inaugurated. And I'm going, oh, fuck me. That's how conservative he's going to be.
Mine?
They're all mine. Look at little seagulls. Isn't that like a joke from something? From
Yeah,
like a
it's
cartoon? Like
from
The Simpsons? I don't know.
Finding Nemo.
I've never seen that.
Oh, don't worry. It's a kid's movie.
That was why I've never seen it.
Yeah, have you heard the story when Ratzenberger was made Pope that a guy from Germany got rich really quickly?
No.
So, before he went to Rome,
Organized crime meets organized religion was the tagline to that.
No, not really. It's rather normal collector's madness, you could say. So before he went to Rome, he had a car in Germany he sold for very cheap because it was a basic Golf Mark IV. And this young dude bought this car, and once Pope was inaugurated, he said, "Oh, look, I own the Pope's old car." And he sold it as the Pope's old car.
Pope-mobile.
Yeah, and he made a fucking lot of money on that old junker.
Fair play.
Yep.
Fair play. I mean, I was reminded today of Brendan Behan Irish poet, died very young, massive alcoholic, and he's being cared for by nuns in the hospital. And he said to one of them before he shuffled off, going, you've been a great solace to me, sister. I hope all of your children grew up to be bishops someday. He's a great man. He used to call himself a drinker with a writing problem.
Oops. Another kebab.
Yes, just a brief one, because we haven't done Snag and Normie in a while.
Yes.
Because, the event happened and then people forgot. And, there were the complaints as well from
wives, bring back my husband.
No, from the online brigade going, that's insulting, saying Snag and Normie like we're not normal. How dare you? You're making fun of people.
So anybody who's in this hobby and is proclaiming to be normal is proper loony in my book.
Not enough normies to snag. But anyway, this is specifically the project's completed. We've been here before, but the nice thing was Ewok actually managed to get his nephews to play a game of said Gaslands, which is, excellent. Because it is a very accessible game. I don't know if we've talked about this before, Ewok, but since you're here, I don't know how you track speeds, but a friend of mine is massively into Gaslands as well, and he went onto eBay and found key rings that are little gear sticks that actually move. So everybody has a gear stick. So when you're shifting up or down, you're actually moving from first into second and third, and then up into fourth and down to fifth, or into reverse. And you have these big knobbed gear sticks, and they were just so much fun. Rather than just putting a dice or moving a pip on a track or anything, actually fucking shifting into fucking fourth. Fuck you.
And people are complaining about micromanagement in other games.
You've got to know how fast you're going. And for a car game, actually having a gear shift that people can use is just fantastic. So I'm just throwing it out there. They were very cheap. He bought like 10 or 20 of them so he could play big games of Gaslands. But I really like your setup as well. Even if it does appear to have some sort of racist elf treehouse. I'm assuming that's part of your Drowned Earth terrain. I've not checked. I've seen some updates to Drowned Earth, but I've not been back in there because otherwise we'd just head into the Ewok show. So, bye, Demon.
Good night, Demon.
You know what would be really good for this, though, is a selection of fine roadway bits and pieces and gates from Fugu. Oh, playing Stargrave. Are you going to give them 2d10 or 1d20? I know the rules say 1d20, but it's so swingy, somebody will lose massively and will never want to play that again and will flip your table. How heavy is your table? They look like strapping lads. I think they'll flip that table anyway.
Don't answer that dice question. It's a trap.
Trap.
If you answer T20, you'll get your user rights revoked.
Just saying. I'm just saying, and Joe has admitted this himself when the cameras aren't rolling, that it is very swingy. But he also says that's why he likes it. There is, if you Google online, adapting or changing Stargrave or Frostgrave to D10 to from D20, you'll find multiple people who've done it and what they've done, because obviously you no longer have 20s and 1s, so they kind of it also makes less likely to absolutely fuck up, but also less likely to get those big crits. So just something to look at, perhaps, or you just give them the D20 and play it as is.
And watch
they're just watch their fucking heads boil as they fail to hit anything for half the game and then suddenly spike and do 4 crits in a row or whatever it is. The silver, I think that was the reason that Silver Bennett ended up with the D10, with the skill dice and the equipment dice, simply because the amount of because I think the only feedback he ever gets on his games is D20s are very swingy. I think nobody ever gives him any feedback about anything else. Scenarios are great. Monsters, love the monsters. Beasties are great. Oh, I like the add-ons. Oh, the new skills are fantastic. Oh, the psychic powers are wondersham. D20 is a bit swingy though, isn't it? I think eventually he just got fucked up with it. So,
Or Ewok gave up. Try to spell bayonet. Well, to be fair, I couldn't be asked to do that. 7 people crushed it.
Beast of War. Website not loading. That sounds exactly par for the course. I mean, yeah.
Well, put more traffic on it then. Who's next?
Next. Hold
Next.
these nuts. This one's just for you and your love of second edition things.
Oh, I think it also got a golden button.
Yeah, but not what I've seen, so I don't care. Only counts if I'm there to see it. It's like trees falling in the forest. Norks.
You're giving the folks at home no link?
Oh, I've copied and pasted that twice. Maybe this is just fucking with me now.
Oh.
Copy. Paste again. Definitely pasted. Enter that in the chat.
Now it's there.
Oh.
Ta-da! Rich returned for retro.
Here for a couple of reasons, though. The first is the sporks. And reason the second is his unusually painted classic rogue trader Spac Marines. But starting with the Norks, they are so much nicer.
Goffs.
So, well, he was a bad moon knob, wasn't he? He was the poster boy for the bad moons.
I guess so. He's got a bad moon's sigil on his chest.
Yep. But he was absolutely fucking vivid in the paint job and the old codex. Here we go and the like. But there was just all of those models. It's just like great.
You say he's in this here codex?
I'm pretty sure he is. He was a fucking poster boy for years. If he wasn't there, he might have been in Ward or Here We Go. Because he's that era. He crosses the first to second.
The color pages are very limited in variation of knobs.
See, Orinoco knows. In that case, it must be one of the originals. I could just open mine and have a look.
Oh, the Bad Moon boss in these have mega armor.
Oh, that's the mega armored knobs. Ah, fuck those guys.
Why do I keep distracting myself with this codex? I don't know.
You should put it away.
I don't wanna. It's so nice. It's so good looking.
Yes. The only thing that's weird about it for me is they're painted in what I would consider a modern style of painting. And I don't just mean the fact that they've all been done with
Speedy paint.
speed paint. It's the fact that they are relatively dark. And every time I see those, I expect them to be a riot of colour. Not taking that away by any means, because, they're still really nice. And while they have a more uniform look and are probably much faster to paint, I do kind of miss the delightful migraine-inspired explosion of colour that you would see on the table when orcs are coming your
Yeah,
way.
especially when it comes to a tribe like the Bad Moons, who are very vibrant and yellow.
Well, because they had so much money, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Their teeth grew back faster, so they were much richer than all the other orc clans, because they could just pull their own teeth.
I'm pretty sure this kind of paint job I've seen somewhere in a painting on some old school Warhammer art. Can't put my finger on where. So he might actually be inspired by something.
Oh, if only there was a way to tell us.
Yeah. Sadly,
Shame.
communication
No way
these
we can-
days is flaky at best.
No way
Unless
we can
you're
find out.
a Secretary of Defense and put your stuff into a signal group.
Yes. Very yes.
I'm actually, my first thought when I heard that was A, oh shit, they use groups for secret messages, and B, they didn't use WhatsApp, they used Signal.
I think that was very specific / deliberate. Which one's the Russian one?
Telegram.
Telegram, okay. So it's not that bad. I think you use Signal because you can set the messages to delete after a certain amount of time.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's Meta is the poster child pet boy of Trump and Musk. So why use the open source protective thing? It's just
Oh, I think it's specifically so they can delete or make sure that their things went away without it being followed up.
Well, too bad that there was a journalist at hand.
Step number 1, invite journalist. Step 2, explain in detail how you plan on attacking the Houthi rebels. Nobody's going to believe that. Yada.
Yes. With that diversion, Rick's great stuff. Hope to see more soon, actually. And
Well-
since he's now done Spackermarines and Sporks, there could be a battle report in this, couldn't there?
Yeah, I will say he tends to do something every year, regular as clockwork. So the Space Marines were from March in 2024, and the Sporks are up there February 2025. Previous post before then was December 23. Yeah. So there has been a slight gap in between there.
Oh, Nako, you're right. Thank you, mate. But the head's very tiny. But very blue and yellow. Oh,
Glad you made him do that, Orinoco, because again, my codex, I can't be honest.
I wouldn't have seen that on my own, to be brutally honest.
Very old. And you're wearing glasses. You don't even have the excuse of squinting like I do.
No, I'm just lazy.
Lazy bastard.
Bastard.
Lazy bastard.
Bastard.
Maximum powers.
There's a painting log.
Yes.
Why do people paint logs? I don't understand. I flushed them.
It depends whether or not you're a Twin Peaks fan, I suppose.
Okay.
It's all about the logs.
Roman stragglers that don't go the home.
Yes, some gangs of Rome. And it's the best way, Zoid. Get ahead of the curve. To be fair, I did announce it for Spring Clean, for the start of Spring Clean, and then whenever I was off for a week, they forgot. So that's why it will be officially announced this Friday. It's going, oh, yeah. When's the start of spring? Last Friday. That's why I said it in the Weekender. Everybody heard me say it.
Yes. And
So-
spring is starting when I have my wedding anniversary.
Yeah, your wedding anniversary is 4 days ago then, mate.
Yes.
So
I know. 11th.
that wasn't 4 days ago. You're so wrong. I would have given you the 21st/20th movable feast, or the 1st of March, St. Bridget's, which is the first day of spring in Ireland. But these are quite nice. And as he points out, both of these, so his Mandalorians and his Romane, were all speed painted, done with two slightly different. Trainfest has finished. There'll be a video on Saturday with the winner. Yeah, both done with speed paints, but both done with slightly different base primings. So one was black and dry brush white, which was the Mandalorians. The Romans were grey with white to get a poppier colour. Obviously, we're all looking at that mould line there. We can't stop looking at that mould line on the Star Wars Crisis Protocol figure. Well said, Donald. Well done.
Oh, speaking of Donald Sutherland, I need to derail this a bit. My daughter and wife have come to watch the what's it called?
There was a comma in there, wasn't there? My daughter, comma, and wife.
Yes. This weird series of movies with the teenagers that are hunting each other in To Not Starve. What's it called? Latest episode was the
The Hungry Hippo Games.
Yeah, the Hunger Games, exactly. When my daughters saw Mr. Screaming Butt here in all his white beardiness, she went, "He looks like Granddad." And to a degree, he does. So my father-in-law looks like
Donald Sutherland.
a bit, but
Late
only
stage Donald Sutherland.
in regards to beard and hair.
I don't know what that means because I've not seen the Hungry Hippo Games.
It's very white.
Well, it's for kids, so that's why I've not seen it. Something that's not for kids, and this is great, by the way. He has referenced the only Clone Wars cartoon, and one of the best episodes of the only Clone Wars cartoon, where we first get to see Grievous. The first showing of Grievous was there in that episode of the Clone Wars. The frightened-looking Padawan there, who looks like Shaggy, behaves exactly like Shaggy. The minute Grievous arrives, he freaks the fuck out and runs off screaming, and then Grievous stamps on him.
And he gets killed to death.
He gets 100% killed to death. Literally, Grievous drops the top, smashes him to the ground. There's a dust cloud. We don't see Shaggy again. I don't know what happened to Scooby.
Scooby is a astro droid somewhere on a fighter plane.
Could be like a mouse would probably be good because they get scared easily as well.
Yeah, but Scooby was too big for a mouse, so maybe a gong.
Yeah, not fast enough though.
That's true.
But I do like the fact that he's painted up this little collection. I think I said this on the Week Bender when we looked at that box set, that it was very similar to the group that got fucked by Grievous. So I don't know if he's done that because of me or if he just drew the same conclusion. But I'm going to assume I put the idea in his head, and therefore, really, I'm responsible for 50% of any golden button he happens to get.
And the other 50% go to the great movie.
Yes. And anybody who's not seen that Clone Wars cartoon should really fucking watch it. It's all on YouTube. I think somebody might have done an upscaled version as well. So
And
it's
if
only...
you've got Disney Plus, it's also on Disney Plus.
Yeah, no, I don't have that. So it's only like 2.5 hours long because they were only like 4-minute episodes on both seasons combined.
They actually made
but it's really fucking
complete
good.
movies out of those. On Disney Plus, there's 2 movies now, so they're smushed together as movie length.
Movie smashing. Well, that's what the person's done on YouTube as well. But they were made like that.
Yeah, but
Or they were made to be viewed that way.
Last year, I've watched them on a train ride, back to back. So, and
I have them on DVD, like you're supposed to. Yes.
Is that a
Scrappy Doo
thing?
turned up. Maybe if Scoob is a gonk, then Scrappy could be a mouse droid that just keeps butting things. Boop.
Yeah, Jefferson Powers, nice stuff.
I like it. I also quite like the OSL that he's got going on there as well.
Yeah, way
Especially
too talented for my
with
taste.
Jedi. Oh, I should watch Samurai Jack again as well.
Scooby as Yoda. Oh, please, no.
Scooby as
Scooby would
Yoda.
be more akin to Jar Jar Binks.
These are all terrible. Scooby was not a cant. You can't call Scooby Jar Jar Binks. I mean, what? Absolute fucking shocking thing to say.
Yes. Lime Fishwick.
Liam.
Nim? Scrappy was Jar Jar. Only two, there's no try. Ah, pain.
Fucking
Pain.
nice.
Pain. Ah, this hurts.
That's why I come here.
So, the Necromunda fighting pit, is it finished? No, it's not.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
cool.
So, Mr. Bond, based off a tea tray, possibly, he decided to make a octagon for Necro, and it does the job beautifully. I really like this as a build. I think this may have been a Trade Fest one. He said scrolling up. Yeah, it was. I remember looking at it at the time when he was just starting it and going, oh, that's interesting. And then watching all the additional build coming in, breaking out the plastic card and the styrene I-beams and stuff like that to make the doors and hinging those with little real hinges and shit. Okay, this is just all fucking gorgeous. And the end result, you know, I'd put Conor McGregor in there and beat him to death, as I'm sure many other people would as well. So, but excitingly, apart from getting it complete, which was obviously great, it even finishes with a game in there with his group at the end of said 2024. And it has that look to it. And even, as we've seen earlier with the bulkheads on the firebase, it has that same strut patternation in the middle of it that you got on the bulkheads. So it still has that 40k feel with that incredibly distinctive chevron square. So it just sits beautifully.
It's a nice piece of plonk-in terrain for any kind of game.
Yeah.
This wouldn't look too off place if you would set it just in the middle of the desert.
Well, yeah, you put it wherever you want, Thunderdome or no. I like the fact that he's built the massive door that slides up so he can push a cargo container up against it, presumably to slide the door up and then release some sort of animal into the arena, and really let people have at. So, you know, all movable parts. It's good looking things.
Oh, have you seen those? The adorable tiny pool tables.
It's what were they playing? Hollow billiards in Firefly. Remember the table accidentally reset when somebody was taking a shot. All the balls phased out. It'd be a really nice table to play Stargrave on as well, because it has that sort of gritty, lived-in, shitty environment.
Yeah, it's a bit of a space station-y look to it.
Yeah, somebody's looking at me. Stop looking at me.
Don't take pictures. My wife thinks I'm on at work.
He's got crisps. I don't have crisps.
Oh, the
he's
bag
got
is
crisps.
empty.
Actually, I can see fucking crisps reflected in the bottom of that bag.
No, you're imagining things.
I'm imagining anything. You know, crisps. I don't have crisps. But yeah.
Yeah, nice job.
It was such a simple little project. You know, obviously the fact he's got all the other terrain is nice, but just that focused vision of I want a fighting pit for Necromunda, and by Gemini, I'm going to have one.
Yeah, and I think it's, aside from the tray
T-tray.
thingy, it's just Greeblies, nothing fancy.
Bye, Dutch.
Good night, Dutch.
Unlucky Ewok.
What's facing?
I mean, you don't need to find an octagonal T-tray. You could just do that via the medium of a ruler and a protractor. You make your own.
For a shocking
presumably-
second, I thought you'd say something like you just could print yourself one.
No.
My heart nearly stopped.
Fuck no. Imagine a guy with a protractor. You just have to work out the angles, as just like Lloyd did with his pyramidal top. Oh no, hang on, he didn't, did he? Man, it's not for everyone.
I know how to use such device.
Look at you. Oh, Mr. Mam's your thing. Where's mine? That's just, oh, it's not there. There we go. My protractor's a little cover, bitch. Just get accurate measurements. It's a nice steel protractor.
See, who's getting fancy here now?
It's because I scratch build an awful lot of terrain. Well, I did. Not done it in a while. But this is how I can make a pyramidal roof for a fucking watchtower and actually have it connect.
Well, to be fair, to make a octagonal shape, you don't even need that.
No, 100%.
You have your
You
square.
cut a square
you do
and
a
then fucking cut the corners off,
cross.
for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
You say that, but it's metal, it's really sharp. You walk out, it goes through a pizza fucking treat, mate.
Pizza. Now I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Miniature
sweet tin.
brushwork.
That makes sense, Ornuka. Oh, sorry, Zord. You too could make your own octagon out of a quality streak tin. By the way, they're still looking at us and not the project. Just FYI.
They can click themselves. Jane Sar is doing floaty things. That's one of these sculpts that you don't look too hard at it, then they snap.
Yeah. The thing I like about this is it's one of the things I really like about the project system. You've got people of every skill level. You don't have to be a great painter. You can just go ahead and throw anything up there.
And then you have miniature brushwork.
That's what we're looking at here with miniature brushwork. I mean, you just do a somewhat decent tabletop standard as long as you keep it relatively clean. People don't worry too much about your final product. It's all good. It's fine. Don't fear. No need to knock
feel
yourself
too
down.
shabby
Miniature
because
brush off.
he's done non-metal all over the lady bits.
All over the lady bits. Squeeze me. Pardon.
No, I don't. That's all lady bits.
It's nice to see a howling banshee bouncing around, howling.
With boobage armor.
Oh yeah, well, you need your boobage armor, otherwise people won't know you're a lady. We're ladies.
Dude, look at the work he's done on the blue gemstones. It's just
Yes?
fucking mental.
Yeah, but everybody paints gemstones like that.
It-
Every
This.
every elf and Eldar codex for the last 30 years has had a how to paint gemstones step-by-step guide in it. The gemstones are the least spectacular part of that. The non-metallic metal, I think, ranks much higher than the gemstones. It's more complicated to do a decent non-metallic metal without it just looking like weirdly shaded grey. And at the end of her glaive, I think it looks particularly nice.
Yeah,
It's also done boats with no rigging, which just goes to show Jamascas is wrong. Look, T has no rigging on any of those masts.
have mast need rigging. You're right, mate.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
What happened? Did you swallow a fly?
No, just got really bad cough there. It's probably COVID.
Please no dying on stream. That's bad for
Think
clicks.
of the fucking numbers on the YouTube re-upload though. How many people would tune in for a hate watch / angry wank?
Angry
The
wank.
The key is to climax just as he dies. I've just got a message from a friend in Stockholm, Hazy, who said, she's not feeling great, but then so's half the country. I'm going, what? Going, apparently there's a particularly virulent flu going around Sweden at the moment. I'm going, sounds like COVID.
Smells like COVID?
It's endemic now. We've just got to live with it.
Yeah.
So,
or as some politicians might say,
look, there's
just die
Battletech Gothic
already.
Fleet.
Fleets?
Yeah, fleet for Battletech Gothic. You're hovering over it. Hipster, homeless. How can you tell the difference?
Oh, nice. Shiny.
Yeah.
Again, non-metal metal. You talented
You know,
cockwomble.
cockwomble indeed. Why did I say cockwomble the other day that set somebody off? I can't remember.
People getting set off by decent
I
English
just have
swear
referred to somebody
words.
as cockwomble, and I thought they were going to pass out from being unable to draw breath. But yeah, miniature brushwork. It's good. It's good times. Whooping cough skyrocketing. Oh, that's good to know as well. Everything's going shitwise.
And as we have learned by Warren on the Sunday show, waiting lines are mental. So better not have a medical emergency.
Well, if you have an emergency, you'll get somewhat close. They do triage patients when they come in, to be fair. You know, if you're waiting, you're not close to death. That's how that one goes.
Oh, there was a public announcement for, I think, Berlin, some
Yes.
part of Berlin, where the
Donuts come from.
the fire brigade said, yeah, emergency now need to be triaged. Unless you're calling needing defibrillation, you'll be stacked. And somebody quoted, if I am in need of defibrillation, the last thing I'll do is call somebody. Which is fair.
Can't argue with that. You know, it could be worse. You could be getting the wee wah wagon.
Or at least you're not in debt as soon as you're getting out of the hospital here.
Well, that is true. There's a lot to be said about free at the point of contact.
Yes, Mr. Brushwork Miniature. Nicely done. You talented block.
Just goes to show, you know, you don't have to be a great painter to get a project featured on the Hitlercast.
Hello, Meldroth. When did you sneak in?
I think the most damning version of that I've seen, Maldroth, and I'm not talking about the picture of a guy on a... Two paramedics wheeled a guy up to an ATM on a bed, so he's literally taking money out. I thought that was bad, but I seen somebody... It was a Bernie Sanders repost or retweet or whatever. But somebody had posted here, the ambulance isn't your taxi service to the hospital. And underneath somebody had responded, what the fuck is it then? And you're going, yeah. So the fact that the fact you have to pay for the ambulance is madness in itself. But the fact that some people are objecting to people using the ambulance to get to hospital is fucking mind blowing.
Yeah. Call an Uber. That's cheaper.
Strange. Well, people do. It's madness.
So Zoidpinhead is doing. What's the pronunciation again? Slonia?
Slonia. Well done. Particularly, he's doing just a unit of these
Black dude.
creepy black Irish. Black bog Irish. For those sharp fans in the audience.
Oh look, he's got a headlamp.
He has a headlamp. And I really like this, but he said in a butting way, there's a couple of things I would like to see. One is the eyes.
Don't shoot at them until you see the white in their eyes.
The reference picture is they are so dark, they're so black, the face isn't visible, but the eyes are there. And I would love to see the poppy white eyes put in Zoid. I think that would be great. And the other thing, and this is a weird one, I'm not sure if it would be doable in an easy way, but I imagine some places wouldn't be completely blacked. So maybe like a bit of skin tone showing in underarm or around the back of the ass, or maybe
at the butt cheeks.
Well, you can massage your own butt cheeks, so they're easy to get black. But maybe the crack of the arse is a bit pinkish.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. So
any place on your body where skin rubs at skin while doing things.
Yeah, just a bit of skin somewhere. So, because obviously they've got
which one is Phil in it?
That's fucking harsh, Ewok. Oh. Dublin's own son.
If you don't know who Phil in it is, why are you here? You need to be in bed by now.
But yeah, I like the idea of them. I like the idea of them from the Slonia comic anyway. And there's a really nice, just a nice amount of highlighting on the black, so they don't just look chalky grey. But just a couple of things. I think definitely the eyes, just to make them stand out. And I could live with not having the occasional pinkish bit where maybe some of the ash or whatever it is they use to black themselves up has sort of rubbed off.
I think the point you made with the eyes is actually a good one.
Anything that blinks or puckers. Deary me. Adrian, he was the lead singer and the guitarist of Thin Lizzy. Was Phil Linus. So, yeah, very. That's all. You're only on so I can tear you apart. Don't worry about it.
He wants to tear you a new one.
Or at least colour it in. Oh, the dog wanted more. Well, all I really said was, I want to see the eyes.
Dot in the eyes.
Just to really make them stand out. And if you could put in some patches of regular skin tone where the black nonsense is sort of washed off or rubbed off, like the crack of your arse or onto the oxters or something like that, would be fun. Although it might be a pain in the backside, literally, to do.
He was going to do the eyes, so looking forward
all
to
right,
that.
Okay. Well, you can ping us a picture whenever you've got them done. Because I think it's really nice. I'm also curious as to why they're based up like that on that Sabbath base. Is it just for presentation, or are you... Oh, no, it does. You specifically say you're going to use Midgard, because that was the thing I thought of whenever I seen it. Is he going to play Midgard with them? Is there more then? Is there more coming? Have you seen the teaser from Victrix this week? Because Victrix are doing Dark Age Irish with Wolfhounds on the sprue as well.
Oh, that's the preview that's on the site with the 3 dogs coming at you.
Might be on the site. I know. Well, I subscribe to the Victrix website-y, newsletter-y things and
No,
stuff.
I was talking about the on tabletops.
Yeah, again, don't go there in case it redirects me to GW. Yeah, the new Victrix stuff looks good. Somebody didn't like one of the renders, so they had to put up a picture of it from another angle to prove that it looked like a dog. So they were, because people on the internet are, what's the word I'm looking for? God awful cans.
Knuts!
Oh, that's 3 words, but it works. Hyphenate it. Yeah, liking that.
4
good
new
times.
historical sets coming soon from Victrix Miniatures.
Sure.
Is what Ben had
War Games
written.
Atlantic dogs as well. You are correct, Ewok, and I already have 4 of those boxes. Yes. So, really don't need any more. And to be honest, I don't need the Victrix ones either. But I'll fucking get them. But
To have is better than to need.
Well, we've talked about Battle of Clontarf multiple times, but I've never really had a system that would kind of work for it well enough. I adapted something once, and we played a game, which was okay-ish. But Midgard, doing Irish against Vikings, using Midgard as the rules for Clontarf would be a lot of fun, because then you can have the named heroes. You can have Sigtrid Silkenbeard and Brian Boru in his tent and all the rest. And I think Midgard would work beautifully for it. So maybe I'll try and get that done.
Oh, Ewok, even if you don't play Dark Ages, the minute you start collecting miniatures, you'll be suckered into games. Filth! Filth! I say filth.
They are. So much. So much filth.
Is there more filth on the plate for the lovely lads and lasses at home?
Very much so.
I guess that is an answer. Yes. Alfonso, the old traitor, he's obviously been doing good things to his, digestive system.
Yes.
He's drinking a lot of Yakult.
It's got friendly bacteria.
It's got friendly fire? And yes, nice scratch building project he started there.
Yeah. I mean, he's been doing bits and pieces for a while now here that have absolutely nothing to do with Samurai.
Samurai!
Amazing. I know. I mean, it's probably not allowed, but he's managed to do it anyway. And you've got to find a use for plastic things, because you can't recycle them, regardless of what your local council will say.
Yeah.
They just take it and dump it in a fucking landfill anyway.
Or export it to somewhere else.
For it to be dumped in the landfill, yeah. So the water purification site is quite nice. Little modular 3-parter that can be combined to make a larger, expansive piece of terrain to block up everybody's shooting possibilities. And the heat sink that he was working on at the end of last year is done. And the heat sink has come out really nicely. I quite like the concrete structure. I'm assuming it's concrete. Yes, donate your plastic to local gaming club. It's a good way of doing it. I mean, gaming clubs are always crying out for terrain. All they need to do is dump a load of shit on them and go nuts, lads. Make your own.
Yeah, help yourselves.
Yep. if you can't come up with a way of doing it, you need slapped.
Be creative.
Yes. Because the heatsink's nice, but the heatsink is functional. I mean, it's got some detail in there, rivets and the like on it, but it's not blew you away ridiculous. I am very keen on seeing what way the water purification goes. I've got those preachers. Well, I've got the old one. Obviously, I don't have any new plastic shit. I have my standards after all.
Yeah, but I think the point he makes with this cooling tower, it looks like something straight out of Necromunda.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's a functional building. Nobody cared how it looks. Just plonk it there. It will do the cooling. That's enough.
Yeah, it's somewhere deep down, dirty and below, and more importantly, gives you 3 elevations. And at the end of the day, that's what you need for Necro. Somebody was having a conversation about Necromunda today as well, about what version of Necro they use. I was like, well, I used the original 1995 version, and I thought, yes, you're right. You are 100% correct. That is exactly what you should be using, because it allows you to go up and down without having to buy a fucking supplement. For fuck's sake. Are you kidding me?
Speaking of companies milking things for every penny and dime.
Yes.
Do navigator cards.
Really? Wow. Why would they? It almost makes no sense.
Yes, Mr. Alfonso. So I'm guessing the water purification will get a similar paint job treatment.
Well, time will tell. I've caught him painting more samurai recently.
Oh no.
So he may have been distracted again, back to his first love.
Oh, samurai.
But speaking of,
Redverse is getting into Bushido.
which is kind of like samurai. Kinda. This is the ongoing saga of Redverse and his son, their Bushido collection, and also battle reports. Yay! The most recent miniatures come from a Oni faction, the Cult of Yuri. Which allows you to add in
tabletop.
a great set of demonic-looking fuckers. I mean, the Redskin Oni are quite striking anyway. I really like the jade green robe. It's such a nice stark contrast.
Oh, that. Speaking of contrast, after the big fat belly bloke, we now have a
Yes.
a wee bit on the slim side.
Yep. You know,
There's a zombie bum.
there's a lot to be said for going on some sort of keto diet, maybe.
Turns out brains aren't that nutritious after all.
Well, they wouldn't be. But battle reports. If people haven't played Bushido, which is obviously a fantasy, feudal, Japan-inspired world.
How small is this gaming mat?
I want to say it's a 2x2, which is what Bushido plays on. So you've got,
Oh, I'm guessing I'm not getting thrown off because of the giant D6 at the right side.
Comparatively speaking, yeah. Yes. Well, at the base on the far bottom left, I'm pretty sure that's a 50mm round.
Okay.
So
it's just my perspective is getting.
I hadn't even noticed the D6. Yeah, it's not even the biggest D6 I've seen. But anyway, we'll say that. Not a game you hear anyone talking about. Oh, yeah, 100%, Jill. The players seem to love it to bits. His battle reports are really nice because it gives you a nice breakdown. You get the scenario first, this most recent one. The black discs, which are down there, are control zones. So at the end of turn 2, 4, and 6, you get a VP for every zone you control. And the game was between the Cult of Yuri and his son's Temple of Rukan, which is a sub-faction. Or sorry, Temple of Rukan, but he used the Kitsune sub-faction, so the nine-tailed cat people who ruined QCon. Anyway, but you do get a nice breakdown from turn 1 to turn 4. Spoilers, it ends in turn 4. I won't say who won. There's a couple of interesting things. And this is a nice thing because you get to find out without getting too deep into the weeds about some of the abilities. So, for example, there is a unit called the Two Lone Swordsmen. And people may be wondering why they are two lone swordsmen. And that is because they work as a pair of individuals. However, if you don't kill them both in the same turn, the one you've left on the table, say you've wounded one and killed the other, the dead one comes back in base-to-base contact with the wounded one, but at full health.
Oh,
And then you've got to do it again. And there's
so
a really
it's
nice...
basically like fighting a Hydra.
Yes. So you've got to put them both down at the same time or just ignore them. And so there was a great bit where his son was using some of the Kitsune, which get abbreviated. So you've got the nine-tailed fox, which is the NTF, and the white-faced fox, the WFF. So you get these bits where the WFF is attacking the TLS, the Two Lone Swordsmen, and shit like this. And all I could think of the whole time was, what if the nine-tailed fox and the white-faced fox had a child? Would it be the WTF? And no, I can't think of anything except that. But if you're interested in finding out more about Bushido and whether or not, because I mean the miniatures are great, so that's not an issue as far as the game goes. But it's, you know, would you enjoy the game? This is, I think, Battle Report 10 or 11. Battle Report 10. So you've got 10 in here with a variety of things being used. They're very brief, nice amount of pictures as well. So you know, if you need that sort of thing to keep you interested, like jangling keys, then this thing has that. But you can go in and go, here's a quick battle report. Doesn't take long to read it. Oh, that's how that works. Or that sounds interesting. I have a sneaking suspicion I may end up potentially getting some of this. I must talk to Ben. I know Ben's very keen on it. And maybe if he got set and I got set, he could come over and we could play some. And then that way I could justify it. I wonder if I could write it off as a business expense.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Because I never do.
If there's a video made and that's published, done.
Did you see? Remember when I unboxed the Laser Forge holographic terrain?
Yes.
The guy from Laser Forge donated £10 to the channel. Go ahead, get yourself a drink. This is so unexpected. I never realized when whoever it was ordered this that they were going to do anything like this, because I keep being asked for samples for people to do reviews. That's just like, yeah. Whereas I looked at the stuff, went, that's really nice, I want that, and then just dropped 400 quid in November for it, and then got it and was like, people should see this. Because he donated it and I have no access to YouTube, I'm assuming that £10 went straight into the profit margin for Wayland Games. But, you know...
no, it'll be £6 because the rest will remain at YouTube.
Well, there you go. Anyway, yeah, my mistake in life is not milking the shit out of where I am in life for free stuff. I just buy it and then I put it on the channel. The game you should all play is how many unboxings are stuff that has been sent to us and how many are things that I've bought and unboxed. It's a fun game. The answer may surprise you.
It's a scary game because I'm guessing most of the things you got are bought by yourself, and most of the things other people unbox on the channel are sent to the company.
It's not far off it. I will say none of the War Cradle stuff I've unboxed, I've bought. I don't need steampunk in my life.
Oh, and speaking of unboxings, the big Orky thing that Justin has unboxed today is really looking nice.
Yeah, Shay built some stuff, and then Justin did the videos. And then whenever I was up yesterday, there was another set of figures, which are alternative Dark Reapers. And Shay went, I looked at them, I opened them up, and went, there's no way I'm building those. So I've got those to look at. Because none of the clowns can fucking assemble a figure, apparently, without complicated steps all laid out in front of them. But anyway, I digress.
Yes, I think we got one more for the road.
One for the road, you say, you absolute cunt. Okay.
Also, it's getting dark.
Oh, sun's going down, big guy.
Batteries are running low. Start with a Denzian, end on a Denzian.
It's like he bookends the show.
It's a Denzian sandwich.
Yes, and we are just the filling. So,
but we are tasty.
This is Eagles of Empire, which I think is getting a new campaign book. Or has got a new campaign book recently. Anyway, it's the Franco-Prussian War.
This might surprise you. I never heard of this.
Looked at it as an Indie of the Week on Weekender last year. In fact, it's the second time we've looked at it, because I'd looked at it before and then somebody told me to look at it going, this would make a good indie. And I looked at it and went, we've done that as an indie. People keep sending me links going, this would make a good indie. And I'm going, we've fucking done it. Do any of you watch what I say? No. But anyway.
No, you misunderstand. People do watch. They just have a very hard time remembering.
Oh, they don't care. They don't care what I say. They turn off, wander off, and make a cup of tea. But the Franco-Prussian War stuff, Eagles of Empire, is a really fascinating game because, and you may remember it when I started explaining it, you multi-base figures within a unit. So your unit might be 8 men, but it'll be based like 3-3-2 or 2-2-3, something like that. The number you need to hit or defend declines as your bases get removed. So you might start with a firepower of 4 up, and then your firepower will go to a 5 up when you lose a base, and then it'll go to a 6 when you lose a base. So it shows sort of degradation over time. But the thing I like about this, which has me intrigued, is it plays like Command and Conquer or an RTS. Your scenarios will have objective locations, and if you hold the objective, you gain requisition points, and requisition points can be used to, bring additional troops in or do some. It's not just a victory point for the end of the game. It's a resource you can spend or hold to the end of the game. So he did the Prussians last year. The Frenchies got some expansion this year, along with a few other bits and pieces. And for people who have obviously subscribed to Denzian's YouTube channel, they will know that he did a video last week about Eagles of Empire.
I think he embedded it into the project.
Might be in there. People shouldn't need that because we brought them to his YouTube channel months ago and made them all subscribe. And I assume they all subscribed, although I do also remember counting how many subscribers he had before and after, and then shouting at people for like only 2 subscribing. Anyway, I've got over that. I'm better now. But yeah,
Liar.
yeah. But it's a nice system. It's an interesting system. It's not a massive model count. Theoretically, you can play it with your own figures because you buy the books and then you can get the cards that give you the details on it. Although artillery and cavalry are in one book and standard infantry and
Hello
commanders in the other, so while you can just buy the rule book, you really need to buy the rule book and then the first expansion so you can feel the full force. But it's a small company, so it's very sort of boutique artisan sort of company. So I don't mind them. I wouldn't begrudge them the fucking sales. Let's put it like that, because I know that the printing costs go up considerably when you go over a certain page count. So printing in 2 small books probably was more cost effective than printing 1 massive book. But yeah, there's dancing. Right. So yeah, I really like Eagles of Empire, and it's something I've looked at on and off for a while. I can't remember who was the person who poked me about it. It might be only one pinhead, but don't hold me to that. Whoever it was, anyway, they obviously thought it was worth a second look anyway, and it's nice to see Denzian actually doing something with it, because I think it's more likely to push me in that direction of actually fucking getting it. Again, it's the Franco-Prussian War is, predates German unification, so it has that weird halfway house of similar period to American Civil War, 1860-ish, that neck of the woods, but it feels more like it plays out like Napoleonics, but with slightly better weaponry, if that makes sense. Because trench warfare and that sort of shit did start to sort of kick in more with the American Civil War. So it's like they had the technology, but we're still
Trying to
fighting.
work out how to set up.
Yeah,
nests.
they always say every military is always equipped to fight the previous war. And I think that's always the way of things. The tactics and the like is always slightly outdated because the people at the top are used to fighting in their way, even though the technology below them has advanced. So I'm really curious, and I can't wait to see some battle reports actually, Denzi. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. To see how it plays. I've seen what the actual creators have done online, and their little battle reports and videos are really nice. Going, here's an objective, is like a river crossing, and then trying to bring in additional cavalry to support them and stuff like that. So yeah, I think if you're interested in a different system and possibly a different time period, because let's face it, Franco-Prussian, it's not the top of many people's lists of wars to actually refight. The world wars and Napoleonic and everything else, they're all glitzy and glamorous, and they get all the fucking, ooh, look at me. And then all of a sudden somebody comes along and goes, let me tell you about the Franco-Prussian War. Well, I don't really care.
I love the fact that he's used a...
The Russians are 2 wars ago.
I love the fact that he used a cloth map with something beneath it and actually
Yes.
it'll work.
That looks like a Geek Villain mat. Is that a Geek Villain mat, Tenzin? Obviously, there's a 10-second delay here, so I'll pause for typing. That's why I really like. I've got cigar box battle mats, and
Yes,
I really like those. I think the cigar box battle mats are worth their weight in gold, and the import charges that accompany them. Geek Villain, quite nice as well. Is that? Oh my God, we've gone 5 minutes over your tightly scripted half hour.
But wait, there's more.
There's more!
Yeah, since we started on Battletech Gothic, and you just
Battletech Gothic, yeah.
And you just reminded me of shipping and stuff. Catalyst Gamers have revamped their homepage and made quite a bit of fuss about it. And yeah, there's a new store. Go look at the new store. Add 1 item to cart. Put address in. Your shipping will be $135.
Wow. Have they teamed up with Wayland Games?
I have no idea. It's
Let me
to be
just
fair,
bear
the
with. Will you tell your story while I find this?
to be fair, the shipping has been horrendous before, and I was actually hoping that for once making a new shop would change things for the better. But for a $30 box of miniatures, adding another 135 shipping, and when this arrives at my doorstep, there will be VAT and import charges.
Oh yeah, no, they base it on the total price,
Yes,
shipping included.
shipping will go up. So there's a $165 parcel coming in, getting 20% on top of that. So I'm looking at $200. Fucking hell.
Blimey, Charlie. Huh? So John was attempting to buy. I'm not even sure what the fuck that is, because that's a really small picture. Prepare for squinting, people, for there will be some in just a second. He went onto Wayland to buy a cutter. Oh, I can't read that. A fucking hobby tool cutter and scriber. Must be something Gundam based. I'm not sure.
God hand?
Cost £6.
Okay. Then no God hand.
Yeah, I think it's like a circle cutter. I was going to pull out mine, but it's behind a bottle of wine. I'm not reaching around. Anyway, so yes, he was going to buy it from Wayland Games. £6. Delivery cost £30. John almost shot his wax. Going, is that supposed to be like that? So you should probably contact somebody at Wayland, because that seems excessive.
A wee bit. Though, if you compare it to Catalyst Game Lab store, that's almost a bargain. Does
thing is,
anybody ever test shopping systems anymore? No.
No. Do you remember the fucking hassle I had whenever?
Isn't Wayland shipping free over 30 quid?
Well, maybe this is how they make up for it. If you don't spend 30 quid, then they charge you £30 for the shipping, and that way it levels out.
Yeah, people will automatically buy more shit.
Oh yeah. Oh, that could be a good point, Adrian. Maybe they were using penny blacks to ship it. Christ on a bike. Good times.
Almighty.
Christus.
So, I have literally no clue what will happen next week.
Sure.
I have asked for ideas. People have left me, except for the occasional do Gundam.
Right.
So,
You know what we do? Right? Don't say no just yet, right? No, we do.
just yet.
We just fucking live stream a battle. We put on Universal Battle and we play 2nd Edition, 40k, or ITG Kings of War, and we just play a game. We make everybody watch us play a game. That fucking hard.
Yeah, that could actually work. Yes, indeed.
Transformer Bot Wars. Well, see, that makes sense.
Bubble bath. 2 sprinkling projects.
Sprinkling. I'm not doing a sprinkling. Well, I don't have to do a sprinkling project, but I've got a set of fucking ogres that have been staring at me for now on fucking 14 years that are desperate to be finished.
Paint us, master, please.
First thing I have to do is fucking dust them.
Well, you could just leave the dust on and say it's patina.
Evict a whole, generational spider family from their home. We've been here now for 5 generations.
And you never paid rent. Get out.
Yeah.
Well, with that...
Tim's got Brock to do. You're very right, Zoid. He does have a Brock to do. And then when he's finished, I can tell him what's wrong.
So, technically, as long as I don't finish, it's never wrong. Nothing's wrong with it.
Sure. You go, Tim. You've only added one more fucking layer to it, you slacker, said the man with the 14-year-old army.
Oh, and you know what the Brock is sitting upon? A little box.
Fugu?
You're fucking right, it is.
Yes! Ooh! What Fugu resin train did you get?
The
How come I don't have it?
medieval thingamajigs that were also on the pictures I did for the project. If you do remember.
Oh, right, yes. I do have them. That's okay. I was getting nervous there for a moment. Can't get any
What
more Fugu
Fugu
anymore.
you do not have?
Well, I don't have his most recent one because he can't ship to Northern Ireland anymore because of Brexit. I say he can't ship. I mean, some smaller companies have gone, we can't ship there. And other companies are just going, fuck it, we're sticking it in the post anyway.
Well,
So,
if you can't get it, I can't get it either.
yeah, no, he stopped shipping to the EU because of it. And then Northern Ireland as a consequence.
Yes. Safety regulations for the win.
Yarp.
So, next week,
Yes.
madness ensues. 250 episodes. Fucking hell, how did I get here? How did I get so old?
COVID.
Yes. Blame the Chinese monkey.
That at the bat. I don't think you're allowed to call Chinese people monkeys anymore. That's possibly racist.
And on that bombshell, good night. See you lot next week. Bye.